This is it, guys. This is the MacBook Neo, and it's just come to my front doorstep today. So let's take first impressions and see what we're getting ourselves into with this one. First of all, before opening the box, let's talk about the specs of the laptop. It has an A18 Pro, so this is the exact same chip pretty much as what was in the iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max. It's got a 6-core CPU as well as a 5-core GPU, 256 gigabytes of internal storage with 8 gigabytes of RAM. The RAM on this laptop is non-upgradable, so you're going to be stuck with 8 gigabytes no matter what model you're going to get. You can upgrade to the 512 gigabyte version and you would get also Touch ID with that one, but I just wanted to get the base model and to just see what the base model could do, as the chip is exactly the same and you get the same amount of RAM anyway. The ports on the laptop are a 3.0 USB speed, so this is up to 10 gigabits per second, with the second USB-C being a 2.0, so this is like a 480 megabytes per second read speed. They're not the fastest speeds that you could get for a USB, of course. In the MacBook Air, you've got the Thunderbolt 4 ports, and now in the newer MacBook Pros, you've also got the Thunderbolt 5 port. These are definitely not the fastest USBs around. I'm sure it would be fast enough for what you want to do with the laptop. Only one display is able to be attached onto the laptop because you need that 3.0 speed to be able to get the speeds for the external display. There's only one display you can use, and only with one cable as well and one hole. It's a little bit of a shame, but I think so far how this laptop is targeted towards, I think it should be okay. And especially in my case, I don't actually use an external display at all. I just edit everything off the laptop itself and off that main screen. The laptop's also really light at 1.2 kilograms. It should be one of the lightest laptops that we've had yet in a MacBook so far. And one thing that put me off a little bit about it so far is that the keyboard is not backlit at all. I've always loved having a backlit keyboard, and I remember the first laptop that I got having it was just a game changer. Going back to that is going to be very interesting, and I'm curious what it's going to be like with not having a backlit keyboard anymore. You can also get the MacBook Neo in the citrus color, blush, silver, and this blue color. I think it's time to get into the box, really. Boom. There's a nice little hello here, which looks super cool actually. I've never seen that on a Mac before, so that's quite nice and playful. I'm curious to see if the other MacBooks, so the MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro, the newest ones, have the hello as well on this tab. Ooh. It's actually thinner than I thought, actually. I thought it would look, online it looked a little bigger. So that's the laptop. Actually, it's quite thinner. It's quite nicer than I thought it would be, to be honest. I knew it was going to be an aluminium shell, but still feels good. I'm still quite surprised. Anyway, the rest of the box, boom, I think it's just your basic Apple stuff, really. So this opens and you only get the USB-C plug. Oh well, usually you like to have the power brick as well, but just the charger? Okay, let's get rid of all this. Let's get into the laptop, shall we? Woohoo. Wow. Ooh, the feet are a bit different actually to what I'm used to. So the feet are really like rounder, to be honest. They just look quite a bit different to the MacBook Pro that I'm used to. And having it color match with the laptop is also quite a nice touch. Oh, didn't mention it, but I got it in silver. The MacBook has the two USB-C displays, the first one being a 3.0 and the second one being the 2.0 speeds, with the headphone jack at the bottom left as well, with a speaker grill. On the other side, you just have the speaker grill on the right side of the laptop. This laptop has no fans, so it's all internally cooled just passively. So we'll see how that will go when I'll be testing it in the future and how thermal throttled it will be. So let's do the first open, shall we? Still that one hinge magic, of course. It doesn't look too bad with the white keyboard, to be honest. I can imagine the white keys though getting super dirty, especially if you're eating stuff and you put your fingers on it. I think this keyboard would get really dirty real quick, but we'll see. Oh, hello. Wow. It's a nice looking laptop. And for the price so far, it is a good looking thing. The bezels are definitely quite a bit bigger than I'm used to, definitely. But it's quite nice. It's similar to like, it looks like an iPad. You know what I mean? Just the rounded off corners, the bezels are relatively thick, just like an iPad is. It just looks very similar to pretty much an iPad with a keyboard. So yeah. Whoa. The trackpad is also not a force touch trackpad. I can tell just by clicking. It's the actual
Om Nederlands als hoofdtaal te gebruiken, druk je op de Enter-toets.
I'm actually just going to start the setup now, I think, and then we'll get in touch with more stuff. But the trackpad is interesting. It's just clicking everywhere, but it doesn't vibrate like a Force Touch trackpad does. If I push further, there is no right click feel. So it's definitely not a Force Touch trackpad. So that's interesting. The laptop feels so light, like it's so refreshing and nice. And just the thinness, I'm quite surprised with how thin it is for a laptop this, like, for this price. It's so good. It just feels so sturdy, like every other MacBook really. So far it doesn't feel like I'm compromising at all with a laptop like this, and it just feels so similar to either a MacBook Air or a MacBook Pro, having it in my hands and just using it as is. I go boom, just got into everything, so I can't wait to just get into everything. Just download every other app that I'm gonna get into really. I just closed the hinge. Closing the hinge does feel quite a bit different. It feels like more rigid. Like it doesn't feel as easy to open and close, but maybe I've just gotten used to my laptop and it's just worn down a little bit. But it definitely feels a bit sturdier to open and close, and feels like there's a bit more like heft to the hinge itself. The silver is just a beautiful color, and having all the corners rounded off like this just is really nice actually, and very nice to just hold in your hand. It's so smooth and it doesn't feel at all rigid or anything. It's an impressive laptop so far, I'm not gonna lie. And yeah, just feels like any other MacBook. It's really nice so far. What the real test will be over the next week of use will just be me going through its paces with it. For the next week, I'm gonna be replacing my M3 Max MacBook Pro, which I have, and I can already feel that, wow, this is a lot heavier compared to this one. So yeah, for a week, I'll be replacing my good trusty laptop for this thing. And I'm curious to see how good it will run through its paces. I will definitely be editing this video as well as the video that I will be reviewing this laptop of. I'm gonna be editing everything on here. I'm just so curious and can't wait to get into it, to be honest. I can already tell you with the first impressions is that the trackpad, I'm using it right now, and it doesn't feel as premium as my one does already. I can already feel the clicking and me having to push relatively hard compared to this one, which is just more of a software click instead of a hardware click. And I can definitely tell the difference with that just from using it now, actually. So what I want to do now is just test some music. I'm just curious to see what type of sound these speakers will do, because they are dual speakers, but they're coming from the side and not from the top. It does support spatial audio, but I'm curious to see what a laptop this size will actually do. Okay, I can already tell you with the speakers, they're not horrendous, they're not bad at all. They sound relatively okay, but it's just, especially when you listen to it at max volume like I just did now, they aren't super loud, but they're definitely loud enough for sitting this close to the laptop. But with higher pitch stuff, you can really hear the speaker just creaking and cracking. It is just way too loud for that speaker, so that does bring it back a bit. It actually sounds quite a bit hollower compared to my one, but that's purely because there's a lot of bass in mine and there's actually subwoofers in them. So far for a laptop this price, they're pretty good speakers, but they're definitely quite tinny and a bit hollow in sound, to be honest. But it's not terrible, you can definitely use it by far, and it sounds pretty okay for now. What I'm already missing is that ProMotion display. That's also something that I'm missing, but it's a nice looking display. And even though it's only 500 nits, it does go pretty bright, and I've now got it on the brightest. You'll see it in the B-roll as well, how good the display is and how nice the quality is. So for the next week, as I mentioned, I'm just gonna put it through its paces and have a week of fully going at it with this laptop. I'm gonna be using it to edit this video as well as the next video, which is gonna be a week use of the laptop itself. And I'm so curious how Final Cut's gonna go and how just everything in general will go with a laptop that costs this amount. And it's not really targeted towards someone like me or a creative really. It's more towards a student, I think, for now. But of course I'll see within the main video who this really is targeted to after a week of use. Really see where this laptop really shines. Thank you for watching the video about the MacBook Neo, and so far my first impressions of how I've been thinking about it. Seems like a good laptop so far. So I'll be making a video into my first week of use video, so definitely go down and subscribe just to see that 1 week in review and my impressions as a videographer and video editor, as well as just who is this laptop really targeted for. I would go down, subscribe, give me a comment as to what you want me to test this laptop on, Wi-Fi speed, render some videos. I'm definitely gonna do. So let me know what you guys want to have tested on it. I'll definitely do them, and I will catch you in the next video.